Welcome back to Talk of Alabama. There's an advocacy group that is reestablishing its roots here in Alabama, and this morning we're getting all the details. We have Edward Ahmed Mitchell joining us. He's the Deputy Executive Director of the Council on American Islamic Relations. Edward, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
First of all, can you tell us what the Council on American Islamic Relations does?
Yes, absolutely. CAIR is our nation's largest Muslim civil rights and advocacy organization. Our mission is to, first, enhance the public's understanding of their Muslim neighbors. Second, to protect the civil rights of all Americans. Third, promote justice for all people here and abroad. And fourth, to empower American Muslims to make positive change in their communities through civic engagement, voting, interfaith dialogue. Essentially what the NAACP does for African Americans, CAIR does for American Muslims. And we've been around for 30 years now. We've got about 25 chapters across the country.
You have a civil rights tour coming up here in Alabama. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect from that.
Absolutely. So as I mentioned, CAIR has offices across the country. Alabama is a very important part of the American Muslim community. It has a long history of American Muslims there, especially in the African American Muslim community. And we are going on this tour to relaunch, essentially, our office in Alabama. We had an office there for several years, and now we are restarting it. And we're going to begin with this tour. We're just going to start in Birmingham, then go to Madison, and we'll come back again in the coming months, God willing. The idea is to remind people of their legal rights as Americans, their right to reasonable accommodations in the workplace, in schools, and the right to be free from hate and hate crimes, and to educate people about how they can exercise their rights and protect not only themselves, but their neighbors, their Jewish, their Christian, other neighbors from hate crimes and discrimination. So it's an educational tour, but it's also a bit of a relaunch to reconnect with the community in Alabama as we reopen our new CAIR office there.
When was the last time that you had an office in Alabama?
So our last office was there from about 2015 to 2020. Obviously, when the pandemic hit, that changed a lot of things for many organizations. So after that break during the pandemic, we are coming back stronger than ever, God willing.
Certainly. And what does this mean to the Islamic community across Alabama?
Well, you know, Alabama has over 30 Muslim houses of worship, tens of thousands of American Muslims living there who are contributing positively to society, who have built so many great institutions. CAIR's responsibility is to essentially protect what the community has built, protect their rights, protect their ability to be freely and fearlessly Muslim wherever they are, in schools, in the workplace, while traveling. And so CAIR's job is really to be a shield for the American Muslim community, but also to empower the community, again, to make that positive change, to engage in interfaith dialogue with their neighbors, to stand up for the rights of other communities in Alabama. And so CAIR is just there to support with the great work the community is already doing.
Is there anything that you want to share with our viewers about being of Muslim faith? I think we think of this area as the Bible Belt, and I think that is the faith that gets a lot of light shown on it. So what would you share with our viewers?
Yeah, so, you know, one of my favorite things to do, and I'm by the way, I'm from Georgia, so I'm, a Southern boy. And so one of the things I love to do is to meet with people, other faiths, and answer their questions about Islam. You get some interesting questions, some tough questions. And by the end of those conversations, people usually leave with a much better understanding of their Muslim neighbors and a lot more respect for their Muslim neighbors. Even if they don't share the theology that, the oneness of God and the finality of Prophet Muhammad and all those other things, they at least understand the beliefs and respect them. And I think that allows people to then move forward in a positive way and to do good and positive things together. Alabama's the Bible Belt, obviously a very devout Christian community there. And I think Alabama Christians, as they get to know their Muslim neighbors more, will find there's a lot there in common in terms of values and goals and interests, family values. And I think people can come to respect that and find ways to continue working together, even as we might respectfully debate theology.
Exactly, and I think once you learn more about the people who are involved in this faith, and you get to know them, people who are in different faiths or have different opinions than you, you can kind of break down those barriers a little bit.
Absolutely. And it goes both ways, by the way. I mean, I think there are stereotypes about, every religious group, positive and negative. And I think the Muslim community is always eager to learn more about their neighbors of other faiths. And I hope others are as well. America is a melting pot. We all got to live together, get along with each other. And so, interfaith dialogue is a great way to do that. And so that's something we will certainly be encouraging the community to do even more of. And they're already doing a great amount of it. And we'll be supporting them as they do more of that in the future, God willing.
And where can we go for more information about CAIR and the tour coming back to Alabama?
Yep, absolutely. Go to CAIR.com. That's CAIR.com, CAIR.com. The information about the tour is there. Again, we'll be in Birmingham on Friday, Madison on Saturday, God willing, and then we'll be coming back in the weeks and months ahead. And obviously, if anyone ever experiences discrimination, bigotry, anything like that in the state of Alabama, they can reach out to us. And by the way, not just if you're Muslim, if you are of another faith and someone targets you because of your faith and you need help and you're not getting it, feel free to reach out to us. Just go to CAIR.com.
Edward, that's some great information. Thank you so much for coming on our show.
Thank you for having me. Greatly appreciate it.